Hello, my name is Verity. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do something a little bit different and show you how I am setting up my reading journal for March 2022. Okay, so here we are at the craft desk. I've just got together a few little bits of supplies and things just to set up a really simple title page for March and my dashboard for the books I've read and the best book. This notepad is something that I got from Ryman's in the UK. It came with a few pre-printed pages. Mostly I chose it just because it got quite nice thick paper and was a nice size, but it did come with these sort of map pages that I'm not really going to use, and yearly goals, which save I've not really used those, and also these planner pages, which I did start using. I started putting the dates of things when I wanted to do stuff for YouTube, but actually they were a little bit small, so I've kind of moved off using those and gone towards a big happy planner. But mostly this book is just about keeping a really simple layout and for taking notes on the books as I go along, and for writing reviews including spoilers for myself that I can use to remember the books that I've read, because I'm finding that the older I get and the more books I've read, the more books on the shelves downstairs that I just can't remember anything that goes on in them basically. So in order to kind of read them and get rid of them and donate them and stuff, I want to have a lasting memory of them, so hence this book. Just to warn you that this is not going to be the most decorative book, but I do want to just do a little bit of decoration just to add interest. So I've done a kind of attempt at hand lettering there, and a quote that I like from Stephen King. And then it really just goes into the notes. Now, I started this in November because I got it then and wanted to just quickly take some notes on the book that I was reading at the time. And then eventually I get through to where I wanted to start the book proper, which was there. So again, not the best artistry, but I've got my cover page with a bit of decoration, my first attempts at doodling and things, and then this dashboard, as I said before, so books read, and I've got a list, and the book that I choose is the best one. And then it really is nothing fancy after that. I don't do any proper spreads or anything, or cut the book covers out and print them out. I just literally take notes on the books that I've read, notes as I go along, and then I'll do a full review with the date that I've finished it and my review including spoilers for myself. There's more notes. And then here's where I made a bit of a hash of February's, because I forgot that I was not working on cardstock, I was working on paper, because I've done paper crafting before and you have much thicker card to play with and no layers underneath. So I got water absolutely everywhere and it went through, but it doesn't really matter because it's only for me, so not too bothered, but I probably won't do that again. So I kept it to just a scribble of brush pen here. Here's where I've listed the books that I read in February and my best one, and then here's the same layout as before for notes, thoughts and final reviews so that I remember it. So I wanted to set up a new one for March, so I've got together a few bits and pieces that I wanted to use. So I'm going to start with this large peony stamp, which I thought would make a nice frame, and this is from the packaging, Honeydew Crafts Peony Crest. So set the packaging to one side and peel the stamp off here. This is just an acrylic clear stamp that comes right off the packaging like that. Smells delicious. And then lay it on your block. Get an ink. I use Memento ink just because it's my favourite. It doesn't smear and it works with whatever colouring thing you're going to do. I'm not going to get really far into doing any proper colouring. I'm just going to do a little bit of splashing watercolour around. Not too much water this time though, so plenty of light tapping for inking your stamp up. Stand up so I can see what I'm doing. I'll go about there. Just press it down, transfer the image. Lift it up and hopefully that's, oops, I did missed a bit. Hang on, let me ink that back up. This is a good thing about using clear stamps, is you can just go back in and correct any mistakes that you make. Hopefully that's not too blurry. I think I've been better putting something under the book, so I've got something to press down on here, hang on, like that. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. It's got a little tiny bit missing at the top, but I'm not too bothered about that. Right, so I'll set that one down. Next I'm going to use some letter stamps, which are from Altenew. They're the Calligraphy Alpha set. I don't always bother individually stamping the letters out for the month, especially if it's a really long one, because it just takes too long. But since March is quite short, I thought I would do. Again, I'm trying to keep it simple because I stand more chance of actually keeping on top of it then. So I'm going to, for this one, I'm not going to use my ink pad. I'm going to pick a colour. I think I'll go for, oh, this is really a purple. This is just a cheap brush pen that I got. I'm going to gently scribble on the letter sideways so it transfers the ink. Line it up. There's my M. I took the letters that I needed out earlier so I don't have to waste time looking for them on the packaging. Hope I'm not putting my head in shot. There's my A. This just gives the clever effect of looking like you can do brush lettering when I haven't actually done it. Oh, yeah, I think that's right. Attach that to there. So I've brush lettered it. Oh. I do keep thinking I'll get some letter stamps that I've seen that you can attach to each other so you can spell out whole words at once, but I keep forgetting and never getting around to doing it. So again, you can see why I didn't do this for February. Last of all, my H, which seems bigger than the rest of them. Press that down. There. Now I think I'm going to get my lid off my watercolour set and a bit of water. I'll just do a bit of transferring some of this colour. I'll take a brighter one because it tends to tone down when you're watercolouring with it. So I'll get the pen, scribble in the base of this, the lid of this rather. As I say, I'm not going to go overboard with the colouring and painting because it just takes too long, and this needs to be something that I keep pretty simple so that I stick to it, because otherwise I know what I'm like and I'll just think, oh, that's too much to do, I won't do that today, I'll do it tomorrow, and then before you know it, you abandon the whole book. So I'm just going to touch a bit of colour on here and there. And again, I'm keeping it quite light because I don't want too much water transfer like last time. I've made it a bit blurry actually where I misstamped that, but not to worry. Let's get a bit more colour on that. A bit more. You can use whatever medium you like to colour these, or whatever paints or watercolours you've got, but again, don't do what I did and make a big muddy puddle. Keep it quite light on the water. It's quite nice. Not going for any kind of work of art, but just a little bit of decoration. I'm going to go for colour rose. I'll go for deep violet. You don't see many deep violet roses in real life, but never mind. Paintbrush. Put a bit more water. Do a bit on that rose there. Well, that's nice. Just do it on these little bits here that look as though they could be berries. Okay. Now I've got a green grey in this, so I'll see what that looks like for the foliage. Now I've got some green I can use in my watercolour set. Let's have a look. I could always draw, this is a light colour, so I could always brush it directly onto the page if it's very, very pale. Let's see. It's quite pale. Yeah, I think I'll go directly on with that. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah, that's alright. It's not going to overpower it. Again, nothing fancy. Do a bit of like scribbling on here just to get some green, greyish green for the leaves. A lot of people have really beautiful book journal spreads, but again, I know what I'm like. If I make it too fancy, I'll just get cross that I can't do anything nice and arty, and I'll put it off and I won't stick to it, and then again, abandon the book. So keep it simple is best for me. Right, I think I'll go for the black pen and just do around the edges. It's a good way of doing a quick, simple border, is just to get your black pen and just go freestyle right to the end. Right to the bottom. Across. I'm going to interrupt it with the spine here because I'm getting into the book, but best you can down there. And then if you want it again, you just go freestyle, try and follow the same line, but then you don't, and it just makes this kind of interesting loopy border that I really like because it's easy and quick. You don't have to get your ruler out. Across here, down there. Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. It's got a little bit of something for March. Now I also got out this stamp set, which was an old Kaisercraft one called Wandering Ivy. It's got some nice little flowers and a little quote and border. But I've just chosen the small flowers there that I'm actually going to leave without any colour, so I'll get my black again. I'm getting ink all over my page. I think I'll just have some of those. Should I do them on that page? Oh no, it's too much. I think I'll put these in this corner. Oh, I've made it blurry again. Never mind. You get the gist. Put the lid back on the pad. And I think this time I'm going to cheat a little bit, and for my favourites page I think I'm going to use this Happy Planner Homebody sticker set, which is new, I got from Zulily. I think I'm going to choose one of these little, they have all kinds of like stickers for planners in here. Let's have a see. I think I'm going to go for one of these. I'll pick the pink one, but let me just get my scissors. Slice that in half, I don't need the whole thing. Cut that down there. Use the whole one. Right, I'm going to stick up here for Books Red. Yeah, let's go for one of these. I think I'll choose this grey one. Pick up the grey-green in the foliage that we put down. So that can go about there, just to leave room for my Books Red, and that can just say, oh, is that wonky? I don't know. Right. There's my pen. I'm going to go, just my handwriting, red. Yeah, that is wonky. Best book. Let's do bullet point again for the first one. I might do an outline as well for the whole page. Shame I made a mess of that little cherry blossom because that was nice before I double blurred it. Not to worry though. You wouldn't think I've been stamping for about 15 years, would you? Let's go across here. Looks red. Down here. Yeah, so that's fine. That's just a quick, easy setup for a decorative page. There's my February one. It's quick and easy. With your stamps, gets to use some of my craft things. Keeps a running tally of the books read. And gives me a record of my best book. And then over here I can start with, let's use this as the grey-green one that I cut in half before. This will start my notes section. As you can see, there is a good example of how it doesn't need to be fancy to be functional. Right, and there I'll just start on the next book I've read, which is one from my backlist, and I can start taking notes as I go and put in my thoughts afterwards, as I did with the other ones. And so that's it. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of inspiration and showed you how to use stamps in a simple way in a book journal, and something quick and easy to set up so that you can get started on writing about the books that you've read. So I hope you enjoyed that insight into my reading journal setup, and just to show you that you don't have to make anything fancy to keep on top of a reading journal and to record what you read and the books you've enjoyed over the course of a year. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time in the next video. Until then, happy reading, bye!